Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I'm your host, Joey DeMeglio. I'm joined by Phil Salmon, my friend here, my co-host. And today, we're talking about the rumors of Artemi Panarin possibly being shipped out from the New York Rangers. Panarin's on the way out. The trade rumors, the Rangers have held him out of the lineup for roster management purposes. He's not going to be playing another game, probably as a member of the New York Rangers, at least before the winter or the Olympic break. So it appears as if Panarin's tenure on Broadway has come to an end. Phil, how you doing, first of all, my friend? And what did you think of this Panarin news?
Staying warm, trying my best. I think it was inevitable, man. I as much as he probably will be the best free agent signing the Rangers ever had, all good stories must come to an end. It's time to move on. Uh, I think you might have just mentioned half the league wants him. He's still a really good player, still a puck, a point machine. Granted, not as much as he's been in the past. Probably also due to the talent around him, but he's still a high level player, and we can catch him in for some pieces and do right by him. Obviously, he gets to control his destiny, so I think it's a mutual understanding that has to happen.
Yes, he's still producing. He's still producing pretty well. 57 points in 52 games this year. I gotta give this guy give him some props. I know he didn't come through in the playoffs for the Rangers. He faced a lot of criticism in that regard, understandably so. But in his time with the Rangers, 482 games played, 205 goals, 402 assists for 607 points, 68 plus 68. He had 158 even strength goals, 47 goals on the power play, 25 game winning goals. The guy was, if you needed him to shoot, if you needed him to score, he was there for you. 14.7% was his shooting percentage with the Rangers. The guy was great. I mean, well worth the 11.5 or whatever the contract was, 11 plus $1 million that the Rangers signed him up for the 7 years. He delivered in every sense of the word. Like, you could not ask for more unless you were talking about the playoffs. But as far as regular season goes, the best free agent signing in Rangers history, far and away. I think the most impressive thing for me is his multi-point games. I always noticed that. I always said that when from the time he first put the Ranger jersey on, that the amount of times he could score multiple points in a game, that's hard to do at the NHL level, but he did it so consistently. It was insane. Let's see with the Rangers. Hang on a second. Multi-point regular season games. Is there a way to track this? I want to see like how many he had. Someone
You're the
has it.
statistician. You're the statistician over there. You
Yeah.
always find them.
Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Matt? Matt, can you find me how many multi-point games has Panarin had as a Ranger?
You're getting
Or ask
deputized,
that
Matt.
boy Steven. Matt's my boy here. But the guy was insane. Like, there was a time where not even like 3 years into his contract, I was saying like the Rangers should retire Panarin's jersey twice because of the amount of like 2-point games that he would have. Like, it doesn't seem like much, but really it is. Like, you have a guy like that contribute every single night. I mean, that's the guy you want as part of like your franchise moving forward. Like, the Rangers need to find a way to get another Panarin, right? But the difference is someone that could produce at the playoff level,
A
not
little more.
disappear under pressure. So whoever they trade him for, I hope it's someone that becomes Panarin. All right. So moving on to, before we come back to Panarin in the trade rumors, we will circle back to that. Carson Soucy, Rangers defenseman, did get traded, and surprisingly, he got traded to the Islanders, the New York Islanders of all teams. So Chris Drury shipping him to a crosstown rival in exchange for a third-round pick. Phil, what'd you think of that? Trading him to a crosstown rival.
I don't love it. I have to get this out of my mouth because it's been sitting on my tongue. Fuck Chris Drury. I'm done with him. I've kind of had it with him, and it has nothing to do with the Susie trade. Susie, it's not. I don't really think it's going to end up biting him in the ass. I don't think it's neither here nor there, but just in general, I mean, uh, like it's gone nowhere. He's depleted the assets. I mean, hasn't developed a single pick. It's just what has he done? And most of the decent roster building foundation was done by Davidson and what's his face Gordon before him. I mean, all he did was mortgage the pieces into the middle of the table and go trade for Kane, Tarasenko. Like, he just has not made a
Done anything.
sustainable
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah. Dude, you're preaching the choir here. Welcome to the club.
And so I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck Drury.
It
Come on,
feels
Drury.
really good
Join
on
in.
this cold
Yeah.
Friday night to even be cold blooded and he could go scratch his ass. But yeah, the Susie trade, I don't think it's going to be significant much. I don't expect it to be, but of course he scores a goal last night against the Rangers because I don't know what the odds were on that, but I probably should have bet it because it was going to happen. I'm surprised he didn't get a hat trick because that's how the universe works these days.
Panarin has 173 multi-point games as a Ranger. Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's over 2 seasons worth.
Oh my God. That's nuts. Man.
Yeah.
That's not, I did not think it was that many. But yeah. Fuck Chris Drury, man. Like there is a very real possibility. Phil, you remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about the possibility, like, the retool. We're talking about how the Rangers at the very least needed to avoid another McDonough Miller situation where they trade both of them in the same deal. There's a very real possibility that the Rangers could do that again, right? Like they could package Panarin and Schneider in a deal because there are so many teams that need a right-handed defenseman. I talked about this on Nick's channel, on CJet's channel with Matt and Evan. The right-handed defenseman. Did you guys see like what Rasmus Anderson got in the trade? That was an insane haul for Calgary. Imagine what Schneider is going to go for, because how NHL GMs, how they think is, I need a big body defenseman that could skate, move the puck, and shoot, right? And they think Schneider is that guy. Many teams have called and asked Chris Drury for Schneider's availability in the past, so I don't think that will change now. I think so many teams will be in on him that you might be tempted to say, all right, let's throw him in a deal and get more value back, get as much as we can back out of Panarin. So there's an opportunity for that, which kind of scares me, because if you don't get enough back, if you just go for quantity instead of quality, you're going to put yourself in the same position as you did before in the previous letter. Not that it was a bad position overall, but you're leaving the next GM, because inevitably, if you do that move and it's not good, Chris Drury is not going to be lasting long. At least that's what we hope. So I think the Rangers should do like a package-like deal with Panarin and Schneider, or Panarin and Trocheck or something, if it means Panarin's getting extended too, because that's also the rumor there, Phil, is that Panarin wants an extension with whoever he goes to. I've heard San Jose in the mix. I've heard Dallas is in the mix. Half the league is interested in the guy, and I mean, why wouldn't they be? Because he's an exceptional player. We were just talking about over 170 multi-point games in almost 7 seasons as a Ranger. That doesn't happen often. So any team would be lucky to have him on their team. Send Schneider to Pyongyang. On a serious note, if teams are offering a first-round pick for Schneider and Drury doesn't trade him, he needs to be kicked in the nuts.
I don't see anything false in that statement right there. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I do think the Rangers have a chance to get a decent haul, because I also feel, obviously, like you mentioned, Panarin wants an extension, and he's going to veto a move to any team that doesn't have an extension in place. And he holds the power in his hands with that no move clause, that if there's no extension in place, he's not going. But I do think the Rangers have a potential to maybe pull a Steve Cohen here and buy some pieces back if they retain some of his salary to get more assets back. I've read that they're willing to retain some salary, so maybe
They're
in doing that, they could help some team out and in return get a bigger or better haul than they would if they didn't do that.
Phil, it's a good point about the salary retention. I almost forgot about that. Yes, the Rangers can retain 50% of Panarin's contract. They don't need to be worrying about cap space right now. Definitely at the deadline, you're trading him, retain 50%, get more assets back in return. A person I know bet $10 on Susie scoring yesterday, and he won like $600.
Smart man.
Wow.
Smart man.
Wow.
I should have done it.
It's quite the investment. That could have paid for my plane ticket to Tampa. Wow, and then some.
No.
Probably could have paid for my whole trip. I wish I would have done that. Damn. That's a missed opportunity. Next time. All right, next time. Whenever Trocheck gets traded, I'm gonna bet on him scoring against the Rangers. That'll probably be too much. If Schneider gets traded, I'll bet on Schneider scoring. That's what I'll do. No. I flew United. I flew United, and then I got stuck on the runway for an hour because there were no gates available because of the snow. Yep. Joey Flying Spirit. This is Phil. If you're not in on this, this was I went to my buddy Nick's wedding in May, and I flew Spirit Airlines, and everyone was giving me shit for flying Spirit and going the cheap route. But you know what? I got there safe and sound. No, I did not get assaulted on the flight. No. NJ Transit, hypothetically, in quotes, assaulted me by canceling like 3 trains on me.
As long as you
And
get there,
then
man.
I landed at 7, and I didn't get home until like 11:15 at night. So I had to go to work the next day and work a full day. So adult life. Yay. I wish I was in Florida still. The weather is nice. It is in New Jersey, at least where I am. It is a brisk 7 degrees Fahrenheit. 7 degrees. I got kneed in the stomach. Yeah, I called the police. Yep. Pretty much, guys. Yeah. I didn't even bother watching the Rangers this week, guys. It's gotten to the point where it's like, all right, the guys they've sold, they've checked out. We're officially back to where we were last season. It's worse, I think, because they don't have the players that were there last season. They don't have Fox, they don't have Shesterkin, and now they don't have Panarin. They're 3 best players. They don't have any of those guys. So you're just watching a ragtag team of misfits run around out there. And if you're going to the Garden, you're still paying top dollar to see garbage on the ice, right?
That will be. Don't get me started on that. You're still paying $23 to try and get a lick of alcohol in you, so you could muster up the courage to watch too. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You couldn't pay me to watch the Rangers sober. I can't.
Yeah.
I
can't afford to get drunk there.
They don't play a very exciting game of hockey. That's the thing. Like, at least with like the Devils, or like they have fun players. Rangers don't have many fun players anymore. They're all old. Like the guys like Zibanejad and Kreider. Like Kreider's gone. Zibanejad's old now. Panarin is about to go, and he's old. It's not the same. Fox is hurt. All these guys that we love to watch. It's sad. I was thinking about it. The fall off of the Rangers is so sad. I never really sat back to think about it because I was like too caught up in like what was going on here and now. But if you really think about it, the Rangers had a decent window with the rebuild, a decent competitive window, right? With 22 Rangers, they were a fun team to watch. 23, 24 Rangers, they were a fun team to watch. Even 22, 23 was a good time. I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to, first round exit, but still, they had fun teams. Like the games were exciting. Now, like past couple of years, it just seems like the Rangers are just boring. I'd rather watch another team. Of course, I'll never root for another team, The Rangers are my ride or dies, of course. Uh, can't fall off when they were never on. Mm, they were on. They were on for a little bit. 23-24. Oh, we got a Kings fan here. Hope Panarin's coming over. Yeah, I mean, those
Isn't
West Coast
Kopitar
teams.
retiring so he could, kind of replace that? Am I right on that, or am I making that up?
What's that?
Isn't Kopitar retiring, or who's retiring for the Kings?
I think Kopitar.
So
Yeah,
he could
and this should be
maybe
Kopitar's last season.
be his replacement, or at least
Well,
production-wise, fill some of
production,
that in.
maybe. Well, I don't know what the Kings can offer. I think they have a few good players. Hey, how about the Rangers package Panarin and Braden Schneider, and the Kings give us Grant Clark. I mean, I'd be over that. If that's a starting point, yeah, I'll take that. Give me Grant Clark, a first round pick, and give me a couple prospects, something like that. You get to extend Panarin too. You get to keep him. But I don't know. I don't know if you're a Kings fan. I don't know if that's Panarin's the guy you want because it seems like the Kings can't get out of the first round in the playoffs. So adding a guy that's not known for his playoff performances seems like a redundant move. Just saying. Lafreniere for Lafreniere, Laferriere. Yeah. I'll take the better laugh. Watching the Rangers is like watching a rookie game as if the players just met each other. Yes.
It's actually such a valid point. There's hardly any chemistry on the ice. It really isn't.
I mean, if there's a reason to watch, it would be to watch Gabe Perreault, Othman, or like Scott Morrow, or any of the younger guys. They should be calling up Berard. I don't know why they haven't called him up. What are they holding on to him for down there? Just let him play. Yeah, I don't get it. Evan says Green Tree, Brustowitz, and a first round pick. If it's just for Panarin. Matt says there's more coordination from a drunk beer league team. And Berard did play last night. Okay. Well, they should play him more then. Damn it. They should play that kid more. That guy has juice. He's like the one exciting player the Rangers have. Like there's decent players in the organization, like Cooley. Yeah, Perreault looks like he could be something now. He's starting to score some goals. I like the way he's good. He's a really good passer. He had a beautiful pass the other night, like a nice saucer pass. I think it was to JT Miller, and he had a one-timer. That was a nice goal. Couple goals in the Ottawa game a couple weeks ago. But they got to keep giving that kid some more run. I saw they put him out with the empty net yesterday. Guys, I think Trocheck, Schneider, Lafreniere, all those guys should get traded. Then it's not a retool. It's a rebuild. We were joking, Phil, last week or a couple weeks ago with Evan, Matt, and Nick on the other channel that that it's not a rebuild. Or it's not a retool. It's a rebuild, even though they said it's a retool. So if they trade Trocheck, you know it's a rebuild.
Even if they don't trade Trocheck, we know what it has to be. We know what it's got to be, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He could act like he's the smartest guy in the room, Joey, but we could all read his bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all know what's coming.
You know what I pointed out? I didn't point out when we did our show a couple weeks ago was that I love how in the letter Drury mentioned like thanks to key injuries to our players. Thanks to injuries to key players, we're not in a position that we would like to be in the standings. Like that's the reason he gave for why the Rangers are in the spot. Not like, all right, we suck or we don't have the right players here or we're not good enough. It's, if Fox or Shesterkin were here, we would be in the playoffs. Dude, I don't think so.
Well, and that's my take on a retool is a retool implies you have a lot of things to retool around. The Rangers maybe have like if it takes 5 years to build this thing up again, the Rangers realistically have 2 players that you could see being key pieces of that, maybe 3, depending on what you view as in Lafreniere that are currently on the roster. There's really not many foundations not much to retool. It's not there. It's Shesterkin, Fox, and Lafreniere. I don't think he's going to be here. Trocheck's probably not going to be here. Zvanjev's not going to be here. JT Miller won't be here. What are you retooling?
So we think. So we think. It doesn't seem like JT Miller wants to go anywhere.
I mean, I'm
As
talking about a couple of years down the road.
yeah,
When this team would be ready to contend again, he's not going to be here.
yeah, yeah.
Not
Which,
likely.
which is why they should try and convince him to move now. And that's where I don't understand. Like you should be trying to entice them to move out. That kind of surprises me that Miller doesn't want to move because he wants to win.
I
Like
think it's just
that kind
also personal level, like moving so much. You just moved here, you're going to move again.
of true.
I don't know why they ever named him captain. That just makes no sense. But I
Yeah,
get his personality traits, but they just you name somebody captain, it's a revolving door. You know it's
dude.
a matter of time
Yep.
before they're out.
It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. It was not the right pick. And, the Rangers haven't gotten the captaincy pick right 2 times in a row now. It's ever since McDonough left, they haven't had that leader. They haven't had the leader. To me, this all goes back to Zuccarello. I think the Rangers should have never traded Zuccarello. That should have been the guy they held on to. None of the other guys that they held on to. Like, they could have traded Kreider. They could have held on to Zuccarello. Zook was the man. I think he could have been a future captain. But no, they didn't want him. They didn't want him.
Joke.
I want to all right, so I want to do this. Yeah, I don't know why they traded for Miller again in general. Yes. Hartford lost 6-3 tonight. They lost 7-1 Wednesday. The stench permeates the entire organization. F. Chris Drury. Yes.
Is that what I smell?
Yeah. I want to do like an ice cold take segment here. So I want to come up with this is good for everyone in the chat too. What's your Artemi Panarin trade proposal? I keep seeing San Jose is really interested in Panarin, and Panarin only wants to go somewhere where he could sign an extension, and he would want to sign with San Jose. Very exciting team. They have a lot of young talent there. Lots of good players there. Defense, I think, is a little weak. Goaltending, same thing, but their offense, they got some talent. I mean, Celebrini and Smith, killing it. Imagine Panarin there. That would be a good combination. Like a line of Celebrini, Smith, and Panarin. Ooh, that's deadly. Don't know how they'd perform in the playoffs. You have yet to see Celebrini or Smith come close to that just yet. What I said before from LA would be the return I want. If it's to Washington, Cristal, Hudson, and a first. To me, I would package Panarin with Schneider. I think teams with cap space would really, really like that, especially a team like San Jose. Now, remember, Chris Drury is in charge. And last season, Mario Ferraro was rumored to be on Chris Drury's radar before he ultimately traded for Soucy. I hope Drury wouldn't get tempted to include Ferraro in a trade because I don't think he's the defenseman the Rangers really need right now, or ever. I think if you could find a way to pry William Eklund or one of their prospects, I think his last name is Musty from the Sharks, plus a couple first-round picks, I think that could be a very, very good offer for the Rangers. I think the Rangers should be going for quality, not quantity. Phil, we saw in the previous regime with Jeff Gorton and John Davidson, the Rangers went after quantity. They went after many first-round picks and tried to draft their own prospects instead of acquiring prospects from other teams. They got a handful of them, but most of them didn't pan out. Like Brett Howden didn't pan out for them. Nemestikov didn't pan out. Libor Hayek didn't pan out. They did. Rykov didn't pan out. They did get Ryan Lindgren from the Bruins in the Nash trade. That one did work out. But what are your thoughts? What would you like to see the Rangers go out and acquire for Panarin?
So I don't know other teams' asset pools very well, so I can't tell you a specific player I would want. Um, but young pieces is what I'll say. I don't know asset pools enough in hockey to say
Yeah.
I
Me,
want him, but it's also tricky though due to the Rangers' insanely difficult time developing young pieces that you almost have. I have no hope that they can get young pieces that will turn
so
into difference makers.
so
But
let me rephrase the question then. So like, would you prefer it if the Rangers, instead of going after draft picks, would you prefer it? Because this is what it sounds like you're saying. Would you prefer if they went after other teams' prospects?
yeah, that's generally yes. That or draft picks. I mean, if the organization has players in mind they want to draft, getting picks in place to draft those players, or from a different perspective, to use in future trades. Um, if they
Okay.
decide to package those up to go get another player in the future,
Well, we
because the
know Chris
Rangers.
Drury is not that smart, but yes, yes, I get
Oh,
what you're saying.
any picks he gets, he might throw them out for a bag of chips and half a diet coke. But I think they need to stock up the asset pool on our end. I mean, we probably have depleted amount of picks due to the Kane trade, the Miller trade, the Vladdy trade, and just you know stock up the cupboard. So if you want to put your chips into the table in a couple of years when you're ready to contend again, you might be able to go get somebody. But
Yes.
yeah, generally I would take some prospects that we could for the love of God, we actually have a very good coach in place. Which if we can keep him around and let him develop some of these guys, see what he can do. See if he can buck the trend from the previous staffs and actually take some young pieces and overachieve for a chance. That would be I was seeing that comment. I read today that Detroit would be a fit.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody
You
there
would
that he
put
would really like to
Panarin with
play with.
Kane again.
I'm going to say there's somebody there he would really like to play with. But and do they still have the Brinkat over there?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So it's no. I'm sure Panarin would love
Brinket
to
is
be
a
there.
sneaky good player. He's so underrated, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure Panarin's going to want to go there.
Yeah.
That's
If they could, if I, the thing is, all right. So Steve Eiserman is like the guy you. I'll never forget this. Ryan Mead was on my show. He's the host of the Blue Shirts Breakaway podcast. They're probably the top Rangers podcast out there. Years ago, and he said like there's a few things you don't do in sports. Is number one, you don't kick the Devin Hester. Number two, you don't talk on the phone with Steve Eiserman, because Eiserman always finds a way to fleece teams in trades, just like he did with the McDonough Miller trade. He completely fleeced Jeff Gorton in that trade. So that's my fear there, is that, if the Rangers call Eiserman, say like, hey, Panarin wants to go to you guys. What can you offer me? Or something like that. Or if Eiserman calls Drury, the other way, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't get on the phone with him. Get off the phone. Um, I'm thinking like the Rangers come away with like a second round pick and like a B level prospect, and that's it. Eisman hasn't been the same since going to Detroit, though. To be honest, I know. It's just I still think I just have that fear. Just it's in the back of my head. Then and then he extends Ben Sherratt. It's Ben Sherratt, famous defenseman who has terrible metrics and got traded for a first round pick at a trade deadline. Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, NHL GMs can be stupid. I'm fully expecting Drury to mess up the return. I have no expectations. Listen, I think quality is the big thing here. Just if you can't draft and develop the prospects yourself, just take them from other teams. Just do what like you need to find more Adam Foxes, like guys that are going to force their way to come to you, because that's the only way the Rangers are going to be good. They're not going to develop their own guys if they're going to keep the same executives in place, if they're going to keep the same player personnel and development staff the same. You're putting the square peg into the round hole again and again. Nick has a lot of opinions on Sherratt. Yeah, I guess I'll have to ask him about those next time. I
Hmm.
might have missed it. I might have missed that. When we did the show last time when I had to leave for Sunday dinner. But yeah, Rangers potentially could get a pretty penny for Panarin, who is a rental, so that's pretty surprising. Usually rentals don't go for as much as you would think they do. Um, but if an extension is in place, yeah, you better be giving the Rangers something worth it. This guy is still good. He's in his prime. Still, I mean, like, the guy's in good shape, right? He's still producing like he's in his prime. We don't know when the downhill is coming. If he's a point a game player, you're still getting him at that price. So you shouldn't be offering less. You should be paying top dollar for this guy. No, I don't remember. I don't remember what you're talking about. You guys will have to fill me in after. I don't know what you're referring to. Uh, moving on, moving on. So enough Rangers talk. I want to sprinkle this in because I'm a Jets fan and I am very miserable. Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl against guess who? You got it. The New England Patriots are back to being a competitive football team. Oh, whoop-de-doo. I hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
I hate the Patriots so much. I can't stand them, Phil.
Yeah,
I can't stand them. I hate the
annoying.
Patriots. Why are they always so good?
They have ownership. Look at the difference. I mean, their ownership. Look at Robert Kraft, and then Woody fucking Johnson. That's all the difference you need right there. One guy cares, has a clue, hires the right people, surrounds himself with football people, doesn't make rash decisions, trusts what the football people have to say, and lets them do their thing. The other guy's Woody Johnson. It's just the guy can't get out of his own way. And this week, the rumor surfaced, yeah, we're going to bring in John Gruden as the offensive coordinator. Now, what in the world? Why would Woody Johnson do that?
Did they
He's playing the
actually?
fire. He's going to fire what's his face? I can't even think of his name right now. Aaron Glenn. He's going to fire him and then have John Gruden in house to just promote from offensive coordinator to head coach, whether that be midway through this season, next summer, just a revolving door.
If you're going to fire your head coach after 1 year, you better be getting someone like Vrabel. What the Jets should have done was fired Glenn to hire John Harbaugh. Okay, he goes to the Giants. So now the Giants are going to be good next year, and I'm going to be crying because my team sucks, and everyone's going to be laughing at me. Oh, I'm so sorry you're a Jets fan. Wah, wah. Story of my freaking life, man. 2011, Foxborough. Can't wait. Top of my life right there. I'll never get that moment. Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I really am. I hope he wins. I hope he kicks the Patriots' butts. I really do. I hope he wins Super Bowl MVP. I should bet on that. I hope so. Guy was they failed him in New York. They failed him with the Jets. Minnesota was a bunch of idiots letting him go for JJ McCarthy.
Their GM lost his job for that today.
Oh yeah.
He got fired.
Yeah. And you know what's also crazy? The Seahawks are about to get sold too.
I did see that today. Right after the Super Bowl, they're going to get sold. I guess strike while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they win. I really do. I really hope the Seahawks. But I mean, most importantly, I do hope it's a good game. I really do. I really do. The football playoffs have been really enjoyable, which has been awesome because I am struggling to watch hockey now with how bad the Rangers are. I don't know if it's the same for you, Phil. I know you got St. John's going on too.
Yeah, I'm not a big NFL guy. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a product of the Jets have stunk for my entire adult life. But yeah, right now it's college basketball mode. Go Johnnies. That has been my life for the last since November 5th when they opened up the season. So it's usually Rangers, Knicks, Johnnies this time of year. Unfortunately, the Rangers have become almost impossible to watch. But
they're on the laptop, not the second TV.
Yeah. That's facts. You know, on a commercial break, if you happen to just flip it over and check the score, but it's been brutal.
Yeah, you know who's going to be on the main screen this year? The New York Mets. I got to give David Stern some props. Luis Robert and Freddie Peralta. I'm very happy with that.
I'm happy with it. But it just seems to me, and I've had this conversation with my buddy, it seems outside of maybe another dominant starting pitcher, the two big holes on this team right now are a massive power bat and an elite closer at this bullpen. The two pieces we let walk.
I was just going to say, imagine if the Mets had Big Meat Pete batting cleanup.
It seems like those are the two pieces they let walk are really the two pieces they could be missing.
Dude, you could have had a lineup of Lindor, Soto, Bichette, Alonso. Now you have Jorge Polanco. Who the hell is this dude? You ever see the meme with the dragons? And it's like the two serious dragons looking at the camera, and then there's the goofy looking dragon. Well, that's Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, it just seems like they rebounded well. Bichette's going to get on base. Soto's going to walk, get on base. Lindor's going to hit 270, get on base. Who's going to drive him in?
Yeah.
And you'll have somebody in Baltimore that's going to hit 35 home runs at a minimum and have 120 RBIs, and it so easily could have and should have probably been here.
Big Meat Pete.
And the starting rotation now is better. They're still probably missing an elite arm, but they should survive better than last year. The bullpen, though.
If McLean and Tong can become even better this season, if they could take a step forward. You remember in 2015 when the Mets had all those pitchers? They had Matt, Syndergaard, Harvey, DeGrom. They put all their hope into those guys, and they all delivered. If they could come through similar to that, where it's all right, they become who we wanted them to become, then the Mets will be cooking. Then you don't need you might not need to acquire another starting pitcher because you already have it.
But who's closing games?
You got to hope Devin Williams is really good.
That's it. You got to hope. You would have known Diaz would be in there to slam that fucking door shut.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Phil. I'm right there with you.
Diaz bothers me more than Pete because of the contract. I get not wanting to pay Pete $150, but we let Diaz walk over $3 million, or he left because of something, and it was the money wise was $3 million. I get, he wanted to go to LA and win, and Hefner got fired and didn't like them bringing in Williams without his approval. But we could have just said, what would have got him here despite all that? An extra $10 million. And he would have just walked right back. All of a sudden, all problems go away.
Alvy, break out your
we'll see. He's got to get some plate discipline.
We have some believers in the chat. We have believers in the chat. They don't need respect. Ryan Lambert and Dylan Ross will be up here soon. We got Benji, Clifford, Ewing, and Reimer on the way.
Listen,
Christian Scott will close games. It's cool. Scott, that's right. I forgot the Mets had him. But isn't he going to be out this year?
I think he'll be back. If Manaea and Senga gain a little bit of, old form, I got to imagine that Clay Holmes is going to go to the bullpen.
I don't know because he struggled in the bullpen with the Yankees, Clay Holmes. You know who the Mets just signed? That is this is such a Mets signing. This is such a Wilpon Mets signing. They signed Craig Kimbrell because, of course, they signed old as fuck Craig Kimbrell, not prime Craig Kimbrell. You know how many times that guy haunts me in my dreams? Old Atlanta Braves Craig Kimbrell. That haunts me.
He's the redhead sidearm holding it out.
37-year-old. Oh my God, the dude was lights out with the Braves. I remember that.
Yeah.
Now he's with the Mets. Of course he is. It would be great. It would be great if they could if he could be the elite closer from before, just for 1 week. Just for 1 week. I just want to see it. Matt and I are how you were about the Rangers. Yes. Yes, I was so optimistic about the Rangers a couple years ago. They went far, and they didn't believe in me. They didn't believe it until they did, and now they're pessimistic again, and so am I. So I hope you guys are right. Remember, we got AJ Minter. Get Minter up. Get Minter up. Have you ever seen that video? The
I have
guy's
not.
Texas A and I'll send it to you. 87 to 90 games. That's it? That ain't good.
It's an improvement over this year, but 90 games. I mean, it's got to be the minimum to get into the to get into the playoffs in the National League's going to be a bitch. I mean,
Dude, I mean, I know
it's
the
going to be tough.
Dodgers seem like an unbeatable team. No one's unbeatable. Like,
But even just getting in, the Padres, the Giants, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Phillies, the Braves, only 3 of those teams can win the division, and everybody else is fighting for a wild card spot. So 87 wins is probably not getting it done. They're gonna
yeah,
have to. They're gonna have to win 90.
wild card one. You guys are hoping. Like hoping a lot of stuff happens here. There's a lot of hopes. Like I believes. Like I mean, it is the
You gotta
Mets, so you
believe.
do gotta believe. I'm not gonna argue with that, But I will say I don't believe that the Dodgers are this like unbeatable team. Yeah, they have a group. They have an all-star fantasy squad here. Yeah, but you know what? Injuries happen. Things can go wrong. People could, fall apart. We've seen it happen before. The Dodgers are not like, I mean, 2 seasons in a row where they've come through in the playoffs, but how many times did they choke before? Like literally every single season. So you never know. I do believe in that last part. You never know. Get in and you never know. With baseball, I believe get in and anything can happen. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, look at the Rangers, the Diamondbacks. You make runs. The Braves, when they win the World Series, I believe, are a wild
Cinderella
card
run.
team.
I don't want Cinderella. I want the Mets to be as competitive like every single year as the Dodgers.
A sustained winner.
A sustained winner. Yeah. I need more. I need more pieces here. Like I hope that the guys that they've drafted and developed turn into the players that they need them to be. I hope that within the organization they have that power bat. I hope that they have someone to lengthen the lineup at the 6, 7, and 8 spot.
Could be
I hope
Vientos.
What's that?
Could be Vientos. We forget about him.
Yeah, I know he's got to step it up. This past season was a very big disappointment, man.
Facts.
I was very disappointed. I loved him in 2024. Ecstatic about him, but he took a major step back. I hope it has a lot to do with Eric Chavez, and I hope whoever replaced him as hitting coach does a really good job this season with everybody. Alvarez is expecting big things from him because he was once a very, very highly touted prospect. He's got a lot to prove. Vientos, again, has a lot to prove. If the Mets are holding on to Beatty, again, first-round pick, he has a lot to prove. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the show here, Phil?
Not really. I'm thinking the next time we're on here, the next time I'm able to get on here, we'll have to discuss some trading halls. See what happened. Well, I don't know. Fill me in on the timeline. I guess I'm not with the Olympics. Is the deadline after the Olympics?
The deadline will be after the Olympics. It's 1 week after. Let's get
and the Olympic break starts February 7th?
March 6th. March 6th is the NHL trade deadline.
Okay.
And March 6th is hang on.
Thursday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
and the NHL is competitive. The Rangers are at the bottom of the standings, so you got to tank for Gavin McKenna. Give me your first top 3 pick. If you could get a center, a top 3 center, a legit center, good.
That's what they've been
missing. Guy
that
they draft, he better be developed on his own, because Lord knows Rangers development, Tanner Glasses and Jed Ortmeyer aren't helping that kid. They're gonna teach him how to fight. All right, kid. Forget everything you know about playing two-way hockey. Drop the gloves and beat the crap out of the dude. That's it. That's all you need to be a good hockey player. I'm done helping you.
Yeah, Rangers have been missing a solid top line center for the better part of 20 years, so that could be a start.
All right. Well, Ice Cold Takes fans, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications. I'm Joey DeMeglio. That's Phil Salmon. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next time.